Hi and welcome to this Autoemotional presentation for a 2012 Chrysler 300C. This vehicle is a strange one. It's really weird. You actually feel like jumping inside and hugging the seats. When you go to look for a vehicle, you always say, oh, I want the high spec and the leather interior and this and that, whatever. This car has cloth seats, and you know what? In this heat, that is such a massive selling point. Reason being, obviously, when you step inside a vehicle with leather interior, even if it is that traditional beige that's found here in the UAE, it cooks you. It's as simple as that. But on this particular vehicle, it's kind of like a huge big teddy bear that you're just getting into. And obviously the slab-sided lines, nice chiseled silhouette of this vehicle all lends to that as well. This particular vehicle, as you can see, presented in the gunmetal grey metallic, is in good condition. It drives really, really well. We haven't actually had one of these in before, although they're rather popular given the size of the vehicle and the load capacity in the boot as well as on the interior as well. I mean, you can actually get 5 adults in this car. Lots of time brochures will tell you that on a vehicle and you're struggling to get 2 adults and a couple of kids or a couple of shopping bags, but this particular vehicle really is a full-size sedan, you know, and with its raked front where it kind of sits slightly lower and those angled lines, the waist lines as they're known on the vehicle, just runs below the window. It does make for a bit of a menacing thing, especially here in the evening. Now, on Autoemotional, you know, we always are very upcoming and frank with bits and bobs that we find on the vehicle. There's a Tpms Light telling you the tyre pressure is low on 1, which is actually a good thing, believe it or not, because it actually means the TPMS system is working, because to fill air in a tyre is not a big deal. Slight frosting on the headlight and a bit of paint discoloration where the lacquer's come off on the bonnet, but it's got the new style paint, that all important Chrysler emblem and that fantastic grille, and it really does make for a very nice vehicle just to be cossetted in, really. So remote central locking, of course, lovely black trim with nice bit of traditional mahogany wood, you know, just a very clean classic car, but with obviously all the mod cons that you'd expect. Electric seats fully working, and here's what I mean. You know, that seat's set for me, and I'm 6'1" and 3/4. Yes, I like to be precise with my measurements, but ample room for me to sit in the back as well. 12-point cigarette lighter, of course, AC vents, armrests which can fold down, give you a bit more luxury and comfort for your rear seat occupants. Electric windows, of course, and you can see the doors open nice and wide. And on vehicles like this, where, you know, it's a family car, you might have young kids with baby seats, or indeed people of a more mature age that need that wide door opening. So a very practical car, actually. And from the remote central locking, press the key twice and the boot opens. Very handy when you've got stuff in your hand. If you've never had this feature in your vehicle, you're going to be like, oh, it's not a big deal. Once you've had it in a car, you're going to look for it on every other vehicle. We have it on the Ford Escape that we're selling at the moment as well. Little practical hooks as well, just so that your shopping doesn't go walkabout when you're putting your right foot down on this vehicle. Emergency release, of course, mandatory on vehicles. Also got the high level aerial, so nice, good, clean reception from the radio. Nice chunky grab handles, again just letting you know that this is, you know, a full size car. This just feels like a machine when you're up close next to it, you're driving it. Just had it washed, so it's all looking nice and glam as well. So hopefully that comes across in the video and the photographs, which are going to be forthcoming. So we'll just jump in and give this Chrysler a quick start up. Of course, keys in my pocket, so don't need to do anything else. You'll see the dials fire up without hesitation. They spin all the way around and then come back again. Nice little touch there as well. And lots of toys to get on with. Of course, we're talking about the electrics and the seats. Fully working, of course. Electric mirrors, that being the driver's, switch it across, that being the passengers as well. And you've got electric windows, of course, where you can cut the power to the rears, but we're not going to show you the windows working because the car's just been validated. We don't want smear stains all over it. And of course, central locking off the driver's door as well. Auto headlights, very nice feature. Switch it on, never touch it again. You can of course increase or decrease the illumination on the cluster itself as well. So in case in the evening time you prefer it a bit more dimmer, you can open the boot off the button, and of course by pressing the key fob twice as demonstrated earlier as well. Wash wiper stalk doesn't need much explanation. Cruise control as well, very handy. Hitting all those 7 Emirates in the wonderful state of the UAE that we live in, and you can see the car looks as though it's smiling back at us, and you will be too if you end up being the new owner of this fantastic 300C. Love the dials on these things, you know, they are very it's really weird, they're very modern retro, if there's such a term, you know. They hark back to the ages when Chrysler used to build some of the finest coach-built vehicles, but of course now in the modern era we've got that nice black lit hue of blue as well. You see the Tpms light there, of course, just letting you know tire pressure is low on one of the tires, which again, not a bad thing. It's letting you know the Tpms system's working, and that's what it's exactly there for. Chrysler clock, and of course you've got the infotainment screen. Switch the screen on and off. More options as well. Outside telling you it's 35, and I can tell you it certainly doesn't feel like 35. It certainly feels a lot more than that. Settings, of course, display, cock, safety assistant, set your lightings. Do you want it to illuminate when you're walking up to the vehicle? How long do you want the vanity lights on for? So on and so forth. Climate, and is now tradition. You cannot feel it, but you can certainly hear it. It's the AC on the 300C. Nice touches, you've got that little digital interface as well, and of course it's individual climate control, so in case your passenger is randomly feeling chilly, you can actually crank up their controls, and as you see when it goes back to the main screen, they're now at 17, whereas I'm on low, and we'll keep them both at low because it really is that hot outside. It's definitely not 35. So but you know, on this particular vehicle we can keep it at 4. I'm still audible, I'm sure, and still nice and cool. No disc, but it does accept the CDs, of course. And radio, we won't play any audio just in case, of course, we have copyright issues which we never want to get involved in, but audio system is nice and punchy on this car as well. And also you have the electrochromatic mirror, which basically means that little sensor there, when a headlight hits it will dim, so in the evening time you're not going to be blinded by the lights of fellow motorists behind you as well. Super strong gearbox, needs no mentioning on these things. They really are absolutely robust, and not only do you have the normal stick into D and go, you've also got the Tiptronic, and it's nothing fancy in that you don't have to pull any pedals or anything like that. You want to drop a gear. You want to go up. As you can see, it'll punch through and it'll start off in either D2 or D1 depending on how you're feeling, or you just keep it simply in D and it will do its job as well. Cup holders of a very practical size as well, you know, practically like 2 shisha bowls in there. Cover it so it looks nice and ergonomic as well. Your 12-volt lighter, all important to keep your phone fully charged. That's like the main thing these days. And of course that black lining as well, so in the evening this car really does pop. And as you can see, cloth black interior, totally unmarked, really nice. Very large armrest come cubby box as well. Goes without saying, there's plenty of airbags on this vehicle, and of course power steering. Chrysler is going to get you from A to B in a bit of luxury. So I'm going to keep this thing running, so when I jump back in it's nice and cool for me. And of course petrol fuel flap opening button there on the inside of the driver's door. But all in a very nice vehicle, and it's going to make someone a very economical A to B prestige vehicle. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for taking the time to watch this presentation on this 2012 Chrysler 300C, presented to you exclusively through your private car sales service based here in the Middle East, especially the UAE and Dubai. We are Autoemotional.